Hey, what's going on, guys? 81 Oak Ridge. I'm going to be doing a Blu-ray DVD update. First film is The Exterminator DVD Blu-ray combo. Actually haven't seen this film since I watched it on VHS. The transfer is just brilliant. Looks great. Definitely happy to have the uncut release of the film. Definitely a classic if you're into grindhouse, 70s exploitation films. I loved it though. It's a great beheading scene within the first 10 minutes of the film when they're in Vietnam. It just looks so real. Great film though. We have Intruder. This is another film I haven't seen in about 7 or 8 years. This is definitely one of the best 80s slasher films. I mean, it's gory, it's in your face. It takes place in a supermarket. You kind of think the killer is one guy and it's actually another, but that's, I don't want to spoil it. I haven't seen the special features yet, but transfer looks incredible. This is definitely one of my favorite slasher films of the 80s. It's up there with The Prowler and The Burning. And we have probably the most recommended film on this list, Terrifier. Yeah, if you like films that are bloody, people being cut in half, heads being cut off, limbs being cut off, the very sadistic, mean-spirited killer, this is definitely the film for you. This is fantastic. Definitely lives up to the hype and then some. Just loved it. This girl right here was awesome. I forgot her name, but there's actually a funny scene where she's taking a selfie with him and then he winds up cutting her in half and he takes a selfie with her. It's just so like mean-spirited and nasty. I haven't really dove into the special features yet, but I definitely want to. I love this film. I just talked about it on my Facebook numerous times and glad that it's definitely getting the recognition that it deserves, because it's definitely one of the best horror films I've seen in the last 3 or 4 years. We have Chain, directed by Jennifer Lynch. It's another one that I cannot recommend enough. Love this film. Vincent D'Onofrio's performance is just A+. Amazing. Remember Jamie recommended me this like a couple years ago and then just finally got a chance to pick it up and loved it. Basically about a guy who drives a cab and picks up women and slaughters them. Brings him back to his hotel, to his house. His house is like in the middle of nowhere. In the first scene of the film, he abducts this guy, this kid, when he's 10 years old, and his mother murders his mother and then basically tells him, "You're going to be my slave. You'll eat the morsels off my plate or whatever I leave left for you," and tries to get him to kill with him and find out that he's not the killing type. But this is just a fantastic serial killer film. I loved it. Brilliant. We have Splinter. It's basically about a parasite alien who takes over people's bodies, and this couple, they're going camping and they get held hostage by these drug addicts, and they wind up staying at a gas station where the cashier actually gets consumed by the organism and winds up spreading, and the police come, and just a fantastic film. I love this one. It's actually one that I remember hearing a lot about in the late 2000s, and just I don't know why I avoided it, but I've seen films like The Void, which I really enjoy, and this is definitely on that level. Actually like this a lot more because it's more grounded. It's not as out there. It's more believable. Love the characters. Loved everything about this one. As you can see, there's all practical gore effects. There's no CG in this one, so definitely appreciated that. Special features, it's loaded. Transfer looks fantastic, so really can't complain with this one. Could be a fender bender. Probably one of the best, like, throwback, love letters to early 80s slasher films. I remember, I kind of passed on this. I didn't know about it, and then I saw a couple of reviews on it. People were talking pretty highly of it, and I saw a couple of the scenes that they showed on the Shout Factory website. The beginning where the girl's in the bathtub and he's telling her, actually, what he does is he hits people from behind, gets their information, stalks them that way. And this woman in the beginning, he got her number through, the accident, and she's taking a bath, and he's basically texting her saying, how's your bath? And she freaks out. And it's just a very intense scene. What I like about this is, it's got practical gore effects. It's got great tension. You love the main girl right here. You could totally sympathize with her. I haven't seen the retro VHS cut of it. I think it's pretty much an intro VHS style back like when HBO was doing their coming attractions back in the 80s. This is just a fantastic film, guys. Cannot recommend this enough. Great killer. Great cast. Loved it. I got to show you the art first real quick. We have the commission art, which is just gorgeous. I love this. Actually wish they did the slipcover with this art because this is just brilliant. This is how they used to do it back in the 80s. Just all like hand-drawn art. I just love that. You got the killer back there in pursuit, and you got the killer's mask, which is like a bondage type, sexual, like deviant type shit right there. Just a brilliant film, guys. Love it. Okay, then we have Black Swan. This is another film, on a technical filmmaking standpoint, I loved it, but is it a movie that I'm going to pop in twice a year? No. It's definitely not my type of film. It's more of a drama, It's basically, is this woman psychotic? What she's seeing, is it real or is it in her head? Basically find out towards the end that it, I'm not going to spoil it, but I loved it. But like I said, it's not a movie that I'm going to be, watching with my buddy. Yeah, let's put in Black Swan, man. I mean, it's not a movie like that. Some people enjoy films like this. But, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for, like I said, for its technical standpoint of filmmaking, but it's just not my type. It's not my type of film. I like slashers, I like gory films, and it's not that type of film. Love that slipcover, though. We have House on the Edge of the Park. It's another film that I definitely recommend over Last House on the Left. Just a brilliant transfer. Code Red really isn't known for their excellent transfers, but they did an excellent job with this, and you get special features, and so I was pretty let down with with a couple of their releases, had no special features on there, but this one, you know, has on-camera interviews with David Hess, and I'll tell you, man, if you like seeing gorgeous naked women, this is definitely the film for you, because definitely doesn't shy away as far as the nudity goes. Definitely one of my favorite films of all time. I love this. Just love sleazy Italian cinema. Brilliant. Hey, then we have Madman. This is another middle of the pack slasher film. It's not my favorite, but if you're a slasher completist, you'll definitely appreciate this film. Got great atmosphere, and you could definitely tell that, you know, the film Hatchet, you know, you could definitely tell they stole the killer from Madman, because the killer's almost identical as far as Victor Crowley and Madman Mars. So you think Madman Mars looks more intimidating because the makeup isn't so, like, in your face and over the top. Great film, though. I loved it. Loved it for what it was. I mean, it's not, don't expect, you know, a slasher on the level of, like, The Burning or, you know, films like that. And we have Backcountry. Basically a survival film. I'll tell you, the scene where the bear attacks this girl's boyfriend is extremely in your face and realistic. I mean, basically comes through the tent, like he pushes his face up against the tent and then just tears this guy to shreds. I wanted a little bit more from it, so as far as that goes, you know, it kind of ended abruptly, I thought, but it's definitely still a solid film. I'll definitely rewatch it again, and I recommend it, but it's not the best. I'd probably go 7 out of 10. We have The Woman, directed by Lucky McKee. Love this film. It's another one where, like, you know, this savage woman is living in the wilderness, and this suburban prick abducts her, chains her up, rapes her, and you're just hoping that, you know, she gets cut loose and takes her revenge on the family. It's pretty demeaning film towards women, to be honest with you, but like I said, I'm a huge fan of Lucky McKee. Great transfer on this as well. We have Hostel. This is, I actually lent this out to somebody, never got it out. See a lot of people talking about the Hostel 1 and 2 double feature, but I like special features, so I got the old school 2007 Blu-ray release. You know, it's $15. You could get that probably in the $5 bin, Hostel 1 and 2 on Blu-ray, but you know me, I'm just very meticulous when it comes to my collection. It's one of my favorite films, not only of the 2000s, but just one of my all-time favorite movies. I love it. You could call it torture porn all you want. I love this film. It's one of the first films that actually disturbed me. As you can see, you have all your special features there. Great, great release. This is with the uncompressed audio. On the old discs, we're doing that. Okay, last two we have Inside and Babysitter Wanted. Inside, actually, I love the original, but I went into this film thinking I would hate it, and I actually really, really enjoyed it. It's, as far as the gore content, it's not on the level of the original. It's more grounded, it's more serious tone, like not serious tone, but it just doesn't go over the top the way the original does. And some genuinely creepy scenes in there. I mean, I couldn't believe it. When this film ended, I was shocked on how much I enjoyed it. Sucks because there's only a DVD release of the film. This chick right here was just brilliant. Rachel Nichols, I'm a huge fan of her since she was in P2. Which is another film that I recommend to everybody if they like, you know, slasher films or captive films. I love this. Loved it. Just don't go into it thinking it's going to be better than the original, because it's not. And it really doesn't try to be either. Definitely recommend that, though. We have Babysitter Wanted. If you ask me, there's a film very similar to this. House of the Devil. Go get that one. Don't waste your time with this film. It's completely over the top. It's unbelievable. I mean, the first 30 minutes I enjoyed it, and then after that it just got so ridiculous and laughable. The film House of the Devil is 10 times better. A director that actually knows how to make a horror film, knows how to brew tension, and, you know, this film, it just completely goes off the grid, and I just found myself laughing. The girl, I mean, she's not bad, but it's just like, she doesn't capture your attention the way a final girl should, like a Jamie Lee Curtis. There's just something missing there. I can't explain it, but it's just, maybe her acting. I tuned out. You know, after that 30-minute mark, I just thought it was ridiculous. But it's not horrible. It's just, there's a guy that breaks into her house with scars on his face. I think if they went in that direction rather than the whole Omen type deal with Son of the Devil, I'm not going to spoil it, it would have been a lot better, I thought. So there's Babysitter Wanted. I hope you enjoyed my update. Thank you for watching. Take care.